Jesus invites us today, as he invited his earliest disciples, with the words, "Come and see." Come and see. Come and see what God is doing, what Jesus is already doing in the neighborhood. Connect with our neighbors, go to our schools. And when we go there, we meet people who are really different from us, but we encounter them as fully human, as with the joys and the blessings and the gifts of their humanity. And we benefit from them. They give us gifts of greeting, of hospitality, of warmth, and we are changed. We are changed by that.
The neighborhood was originally built as housing for the people who worked in the mills that were being built along the river. So it's a triple-decker neighborhood, lots and lots of families, lots and lots and lots of children, working class and middle class neighborhood. And families live on top of each other in the different levels of the triple-decker. I would say almost everybody, almost all of the parents work, and they work hard. They work at Lowe's or they work in restaurants. The Hispanic community tends to work in the fish houses. So they're people who work. But they certainly want the best for their children and kind of struggle to try to make that happen for them.
So much occurs in those early years of life that sets the stage for each child for the rest of their lives, really. Well, it's clear, just as the income gap is widening, I think the quality of school experience is widening. I live in a suburb of New Bedford. It takes me 15 or 20 minutes to drive here. And the experience that children are getting in my hometown versus what is offered here is dramatically different. This Lincoln School from which we draw our children was built, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, brand new, beautiful school with a lovely library, an art room, a science lab, most of which are unused because it's overpopulated. It was built for 650 children. There's 800 children in the building. I know that the teachers at the school work very hard and do the best with what they have, but they're doing the best with what they have. And what they have is not adequate. And it's not just about supplies or space or materials. It's about teacher training and enough support services within the building. And that's a moral imperative, that's a Christian imperative. We can't keep providing such different levels of experience for children at such foundational times in their lives and expect good outcomes. We just can't.
The relationship with the Lincoln School has been something that we absolutely treasure. It's evolved from kind of a necessity to a gift. And there's a clear understanding that the work we do in public schools, which is by nature secular, it's still and is in a very important way the work of God. Because children have souls, and each child, whether they're Christian or not, is important to God.
Being with kindergartners is one of my favorite things to do. And so this provided a perfect opportunity to be able to serve as a Christian, to be able to meet my need to be with kindergartners, and to be able to hopefully contribute to the quality of experience for the children in the area.
They come down the street together It's actually a great transition time because they're leaving school, they're coming to us. They have this adventure where they're all coming together, and so it's fun. They are very excited to come. When we pick them up at the school, they feel chosen because they're the ones who are going to St. Andrew's. A lot of times they'll talk about going to church. We're going to church.
Okay, you ready to read the rest?
Yeah.
This is an important question for all of you. Did
you see
any, did you see any
good
this is a tough word,
mistakes?
Samaritans.
Jane Taylor is an experienced teacher, and she and other members of this congregation have gradually, layer by layer, developed a program that gives children a safe place to be in the afternoons, where they can play quietly with an adult nearby, where they get to interact with each other in a somewhat free-form kind of playing, which is hard during the school day these days because the days are always so rigid and so structured. And what I love about it is that it started tiny, and like the metaphor in the Bible about the mustard seed, the little tiniest seed, given time and nurturance and water, will grow into this mighty, mighty tree. And their program isn't mighty yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
Well, you certainly see God's grace in their actions. Again, whether they've had formal religious background or a lot of emphasis in the home on, moral traditions or not, they are caring of each other. They show a lot of what we hope good Christians or people of other faiths show to each other.
What All Our Children is about at the advocacy level is building this population of people who are motivated by their personal relationships with a child, by their faith and their belief in God's mission of healing and reconciliation for the whole world, to take action in their local community.
Lolly's commitment to it also, sort of with her commitment to the network, it's also as a commitment to each one of us in our programs.
And it has been a wonderful resource, really, in terms of just knowing that there are others out there trying to do the same thing you are, not feeling like you're on your own, being able to tap into others' experiences and ideas, and to be able to share yours with others.
We had found our way to establishing these programs, and then this was an affirmation. This was like, yes, you're doing the right thing, or you're not the only person who's doing it.
We had the opportunity this summer when All Our Children invited us to go to General Convention in Salt Lake City to meet folks from all over the country engaged in church-school partnerships. And that was very, very powerful. And putting it in the context of the convention and solidly in the Episcopal Church was very meaningful to me.
And then in truth, it is these stories of being with these children that binds us together. And the style of All Our Children, I believe, encourages those stories, encourages us to pay attention to the stories, but also to share them. It's really a group of people who are together to work toward this common goal. And in that it just makes my heart sing.
It shows us something that's true of most of our partnerships within All Our Children. They are just run by ordinary people who are, as everybody is, extraordinary. These are ordinary people who saw an opportunity, who felt an invitation of the Spirit, of their hearts, to connect to others, to the children, to the neighborhood. They saw it as part of what they do as a worshiping congregation. Part of their way of expressing the love that they feel from God is to give that love to the children who aren't even members of this congregation. They just live in the neighborhood. These are ordinary people who are extraordinary people doing something that is both ordinary and transformative.